On November 30th, after the Oilers played by far their worst game of the season against the Maple Leafs, fans and media were just giving it to the Oilers for being so awful for so long. I can't even count the number of articles and comments I read about Auston Matthews. Now, 4 wins later, playoff implications was trending on Twitter last night in Edmonton. Now, I'm just wondering, are you surprised by this turn of events? Because you know who isn't? This guy. I'm far more concerned with the Oilers improving their play than the actual game results. Just so you know, I'm probably not going to focus a lot on talking about wins and losses this year. I'm mainly going to focus on positive signs that the Oilers are finally moving in the right direction. They have shown significant improvement because they've been in every game and against Western Conference opponents. The fact that they're not wallowing in their self-pity and pointing fingers indicates that they're breaking that losing mentality. The season is not lost. Keep your chin up, Oilers fans. They have to stick to their game plan, and the bounces or the calls will eventually go their way, but they have to stick with it. Aside from the rapidly receding hairline, those clips are all basically the same.
Oh, someone's tooting their own horn.
Yeah, I am. Because it's like I've been saying all year. The Oilers have improved their play, and when you do that, you'll eventually see results. The only difference between this last week and a half and the beginning of the season is before the Oilers were losing these tight one-goal games, and now they're winning them. I'll use this as an example. I used to be really bad with money. I was terrible at managing my finances. I was living paycheck to paycheck. I had a student loan. I was driving a 1989 Ford Tempo that barely ran. Anyway, shortly after I met my wife, I decided, hey, I really got to get my poop in a group here if I want to get married and start a family. So I started applying basic, wise principles to my financial decision making. The first thing I needed to do was break my bad habits.
It's called don't buy stuff you cannot afford.
But here's the thing. After a few months, I was like, this sucks. I'm just as bad off as I was before. I didn't have any money to go to sporting events or movies or even just hang out with my friends. But the thing is, I stuck with it. And I cannot emphasize this enough. Eventually, I started seeing results. And then I was able to move on to other things like paying off my student loan and saving a bunch of money to put a down payment on a house. And now, a few years later, I'm financially stable. And this same concept applies to the Oilers. Just like me with my money, they were managed badly for so long, and they're still in the early stages of cleaning up that mess. So early on in the season, a lot of fans are saying, gee, we aren't seeing results. We're in just as bad a shape as we were before. When in reality, the team was playing mostly good hockey. Now, they are starting to see the results of doing things the right way. They're being held accountable. They're not backing down from physical play. And most importantly, they're no longer a bunch of quitters. Now, I'm not saying all the problems on this team are fixed. They aren't. What I am saying is that the Oilers are in good hands, and they are finally, after 20 or 25 games, starting to see some results for the approach they're taking to fixing this team. It's like I always say, it's not a race, it's a marathon.
What? I've never heard you say that.
I say it all the time. Maybe not in my videos, but I say that all the time.
Oh, come on. I've never heard you say that.
Probably because you're not very good at being quiet and listening to other people talk.
Oh.
Did you know the Oilers are 7-2 since McDavid got hurt? Last night, after the San Jose game, I said to a number of my friends that game was a turning point for the team. I haven't seen that kind of atmosphere, intensity, and passion from them in probably 7 or 8 years. I really think they turned a corner last night. What do you think? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you next week. Go Oilers!